Horizon Chance from Rex, and this is Miscellaneous Icarus, whatever. By the channel only Sarcastic production. What is this? A video for ants? No, but Icarus is a really simple story. The video is correspondingly dinky. Happy Friday. Alright, Icarus, one of the most famous, thing that is. Everybody talks about, like, Icarus flew way too close to the sun and, burned his wing. Implying that you shouldn't give in to your hubris and ego and just overdo things basically. This is one of the most famous one out there because because of human nature. Of all the things, humans being a bit too egoistic, I guess, a bit too hubristic and trying to do more than they could is the biggest thing that is. So Icarus flying too close to the sun is the most famous thing because of that reason, I guess. So let's watch this one. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, check out the Rick Sunday, there's a link in the description, check out the cards for place, check out the end cards, and yeah, let's watch this one.
It's always fun when a myth gets co-opted by popular culture as a universal symbol of something or other. The Achilles heel is a metaphor for a single fatal weakness, David and Goliath to represent the archetypal underdog story, cutting the Gordian knot to mean taking the brute force solution. Pandora's Box is now the catch-all name for any kind of...
So, yeah, wait a minute, Achilles heel, right? So when I was first watching, first of all, I knew what was whole things about Achilles and Achilles heel because Achilles' mother, the god, dipped him in some kind of immortal river or something. But she was holding him by one heel, so that heel then became immortal. So that was his weakness. When I was watching Troy, I knew this myth, basically, this saying, this myth. But when I was watching Troy, I don't know, I knew there is a Brad Pitt, the main character is apparently somebody named, Achilles. But I didn't put together this is the same Achilles. I was watching until all the way to end when he dies. When somebody shoots him in the heel, I guess. Then I realized, oh, this is the same person. At the time, I didn't know any Greek mythology or anything. This is a long time ago. But yeah. But yeah, Achilles heel. There's also people make joke like, okay, her mother was so stupid. Couldn't she just, dip him once, then second time lift him with other heel and dip him again to make him perfect. But yeah. They wouldn't have created this, I guess, the lesson type of thing, right? That everybody has some weakness.
Is a metaphor for a single fatal weakness, David and Goliath to represent the archetypal underdog story.
Yeah, David and Goliath. This is also one of the famous thing implying encouragement type of thing. Like you have any task in front of you, you're competing with somebody and somebody has some edge here and there for whatever reason, and people are like, I can never achieve that. The other guy also has some kind of an edge for whatever we are doing. Then somebody, says David and Goliath, David was a small guy but still killed the Goliath. So, you can do this. It's encouragement type of thing. But in real life, this rarely works, right? David and Goliath thing never works. I mean, some instances, sure, where Goliath is really stupid. There's a reason why UFC has a weight class and it's not to protect the higher class. I mean, if you put heavyweight to, I don't know, in featherweight is the one who's going to get his face smashed. There was an incident where Conor McGregor, when he was at the height of his famousness, still he was dropping name of Brock Lesnar for whatever reason. Apparently, Brock Lesnar being doubly famous is still way too famous that even Conor McGregor was dropping his name. It was like I could take Brock Lesnar or something. Then somebody just went to Brock Lesnar and asked him, Brock Lesnar, I take bigger shits than this guy. But yeah, in reality, it doesn't matter what you think of Brock Lesnar. It doesn't matter how much you think, he wasn't that good or whatever. Conor McGregor is just great or whatever, even though, Conor McGregor is losing constantly past few matches. But still, Conor McGregor is one of the greats, right? And, you might have opinion that Brock Lesnar is not that great. But if you put Brock Lesnar versus Conor McGregor, it doesn't matter how great Conor McGregor is losing all the time. Somebody says, but Conor McGregor can just jump around and punches the guy. Yeah, but size matter even in the punches. Conor McGregor's punch power is not going to be that much when he's facing Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a heavyweight, right? So Brock Lesnar is fighting the same class or a class below him. I understand that the punches could knock him out. Conor McGregor cannot knock Brock Lesnar out. All Brock Lesnar needs is just one mistake from Conor and just pin him down and that's it. So the point is, David and Goliath is just good story-wise, like you can do it. But in reality, David and Goliath never works, and you can do a thing. This is more cynic of me, even that doesn't work. Usually you're going to fail.
story. Cutting the Gordian knot to mean taking the brute force solution, Pandora's Box is now the catch-all name for any kind of sealed evil in a can. And possibly the most commonly known example would be Icarus flying too close to the sun. Now the context for this story is more complicated than the story itself, because it ties in with a different myth, the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. I'll go into more detail later, but the relevant backstory here is that King Minos commissioned Daedalus to build him a labyrinth to imprison the Minotaur, and then used his fancy labyrinth to kill people
I'm gonna use this to kill people. This was the warranty.
he didn't like. But in order for this to work, nobody could
How can I rely on using it like that if people know the way out? He's just thinking, the guy is just speaking in the background. Please don't use my labyrinth for evil. He's not even listening to
learn
that.
how the labyrinth itself worked. So he imprisoned Daedalus and his son Icarus in a tower so they could never reveal its secrets. So Daedalus and Icarus are stuck in a tower, and they can't leave by land.
Oh, so Icarus is the son of the guy who built the labyrinth. Is that it? That's why I remember somebody in the, when I reacted to that mythology, somebody said in the comment, like, react to Icarus because it ties into it.
And or by sea because Minos keeps track of all transport. But Daedalus is a brilliant inventor, so of course he's going to come up with something. So Daedalus constructs wings for himself and Icarus.
I was imagining, the Iron Man, first Iron Man, where Tony Stark is stuck in that cave and he just uses all the makeshift things to create the first Iron Man suit. I'm just imagining him doing that right now.
Icarus, made of feathers and wax. And before you ask, no, they don't work in real life. Trust me, I've tried. So Daedalus and Icarus strap the wings on, but Daedalus warns Icarus to be careful. If he flies too low, the sea spray will make the wings too heavy to fly. And if he flies too high, the heat from the sun will melt the wax and make the wings fall apart. If you're looking for symbolism, you can think of this as warning Icarus against both complacency and hubris. Flying too
Yeah, seriously, in Greek mythology, finding some message like that is rare, but this is something, right? First of all, anybody thinks of Icarus fly too close to the sun. Nobody thinks that, don't do something that is under your potential too, right? Like, don't go way too low that, water might make your wings heavy and you can't fly. Nobody thinks that, because usually in human nature, people try to overdo things, not the other way around. But yeah, it's the both way. But then again, in today's culture, this would cause anxiety, right? Don't fly too low, don't fly too high. Then how am I supposed to know where I'm supposed to fly? Man, this is giving me anxiety.
too low will make him lose the ability to fly at all, but flying too high will make him crash and burn. But Icarus is a teenager, so of course as soon as they get flying, he immediately does that thing where he thinks he's immortal because he hasn't been alive long enough for anything really bad to happen to him, so he starts flying higher and higher. The heat from the sun melts the wax, and Icarus's wings fall apart. So Icarus falls into the ocean and drowns, which sucks, but on the plus side it gave us a kick-ass metaphor for the folly of pride and a really good line in a Hamilton song.
Yeah, you think I'm exaggerating about how much this shows up. Wikipedia has a list of all the references to Icarus in pop music alone, yeah. Yeah, but like I said, this is why this is most famous, because in human nature, that is the biggest thing, right? Human, ego, human hubris, pride, whatever you want to say, that pushes a person to, I guess, overdo things. That's the biggest thing. So don't fly too close to the sun. Like somebody in the, went to Vegas, basically, wants some money here and there. Like, I'm going to put everything on. Don't fly too close to the sun. Nobody just thinks like, maybe I shouldn't play at all because I might lose a coin. Nobody does that. So I never knew the Icarus myth is about the both thing. Like don't fly too high, don't fly too low too. I didn't know about the low one, because that never comes up. It's always about don't fly too high, you might burn your wings or something. Alright people, that was Miscellaneous Miss Icarus by the Holy Sarcastic production. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the lyrics under, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards over place, check out the ink cards, and I'll see you next time.